No. Stop. These two words attract a common feeling in all of us. It doesn't matter from what language they are said in, or from which part of the world they are said from, or how softly they are said. It elicits one general feel: rejection. And depending on the impact, the effects could range from a heartbreak, lack of sleep, lack of appetite, loss of revenue, loss of money, just to name a few. The success of your business is my business, and rejection will not deny us this success. In this video, I will share with you why you need to develop a formula to deal with rejection. My invited guests will help us understand this subject in depth. And if you're struggling with rejection, I have a bonus for you. Our guest doctor will tell us what rejection does to our health. This is your video. Welcome. This is Sales Roundtable. My name is JK, Joseph Kimondo. I'm passionate about consumer behavior and selling techniques. Like this video and share it so that people in business will learn how to create a formula to deal with rejection. And of course, subscribe for more business tips. Winston Churchill once said, "Success is the ability to move from failure to failure without a loss of enthusiasm." If there was no rejection, all businessmen will be multi-billionaires because they will just be selling. Nobody's saying no. This is music to the ear, but it is not practical. Rejection in any setting is a hard pill, a bitter pill to take. To help us break down this subject, today we are joined by
Faith Ntinyari Bayakibwe, a sales professional for the last 23 years and still counting.
Stephen Mwangi, and I've been in various forms of business for over 10 years.
From your experience, tell us, can you avoid rejection in business?
Me, I'll say absolutely no, because every single business deals with products and services that are different to different customers. Customers have different tastes and preferences, and therefore at one stage or the other, you will come into contact with customers who will refuse your idea, will refuse your proposal, will refuse your product or your services for varied reasons. Probably this particular customer has no budget. Therefore, if you take to them a proposal where they have not budgeted for it, they will for sure tell you no. Or if you go to a place where they're not interested in your brand, they don't want to be associated with it, they'll tell you no. If they look at you as a salesperson and see you have no confidence in how you present yourself, in how you're selling yourself, in how you're selling the services and product of that particular organization you're selling for, they will refuse you. And the other reason is because you're not giving them a solution. Customers are looking for solutions, and as long as they feel there's no solution you're offering them, they'll definitely refuse your proposal or your idea. You can look at it in normal life, where probably you want to get married and you're looking for a partner. Many will reject you because they have reasons as to why they're rejecting you. So it is not only in business, but even in our real-time life, we will have rejections at one time or another as you move on to life. So when you're rejected, please just know it is just about how things get to go.
The answer is no. So long as you're selling your product or service, you will always face rejection in one form or the other. So you cannot avoid rejection in business at all. And for that reason, it means that you need to develop a thick skin, because for every yes that you get from a customer or even a potential partner, there will be various no's that you have to face. So you cannot avoid rejection at all.
In your work tenure, have you ever experienced rejection in business?
many times, countless times, probably every single day that I went out there in the market. I had one or two customers who told me no. And I'll give you a very recent example that happened this year in March. We had gone for sales in Ethiopia, and we went to one particular office where we were referred to. And I can for sure tell you, the gatekeeper, who was a PA to this particular lady that we were about to see, told us a big no. But we asked, please, just give us 1 minute. And we promised it would be 1 minute. And she told us, no, I'm very busy. And we asked, is it possible then to see your boss? And she told us, my boss does not see anyone without appointment. And for sure, we had no appointment. But something somewhere just made her feel like, why don't I just request? Because if people are not from Kenya, why don't I just allow them just to say hello to the boss? And she opened the door, introduced ourselves to the boss. And the boss was telling us, why didn't you make an appointment? Why did you just waste people's time? And we told many things. But as you're doing that, we only requested for 1 minute to drop our cards, introduce ourselves, and probably we'll be able to speak to her at a better time. Believe you me or not, we were in that office for 35 minutes. The rejection led to an approval, led to the lady giving us excellent ideas on what we need to do. In as much as she never bought our idea, our proposal, because that is what she was looking at. She gave us ideas of what she is looking at as a customer. Therefore, she completely told us no to our products, to our services, but yes, it will ever look forward to changing to what she wanted. So I'll call it was a rejection, and at the same time, it was mixed with good ideas that if you look forward or if you fast forward, is exactly what the customers are looking for today. Just looking at a place where she can go and feel at home, not a place where she goes and feels like she's in a crowd.
The answer is yes. Tons of rejection. That comes along as you do business. So especially when you're starting off, when it's a new product, it's a new vertical, then you're trying to get as many clients as possible from the word go. Then before you scale and get any considerable market share, you will definitely get quite a bit of rejection from those that you approach initially. So yes, I've experienced a lot of rejection in business, and I've used it constructively to better the product and take that form of criticism on board.
According to you, is rejection personal?
No. I would want each salesperson to look at their self-worth and look at the business they're promoting out there. When you are rejected, never take it personal. Please remember, you're selling out services and products of your business. And therefore, if a customer tells you no, please just know it is not you they're telling no. They're telling you not that particular product or service that you are offering to them. Remember, when they tell you no, probably they had a bad day. Probably the person that you're dealing with has been given a deadline they need to be able to accomplish at a particular time. And therefore, they may not have time for you. And therefore, they'll tell you no. So that particular point, please don't take it personal. There must be a reason behind that no. So what you need to do as a salesperson is to pause and ask yourself, is there anything I did not do right? Was my proposal not equal to the task? Or what exactly was it that made this particular customer say no to my idea or no to my proposal? So you need to pause and ask yourself some critical questions before you take it personal. And after that, just say, probably the next door has a better yes for me. Probably the next 3 sales calls I will make today will be a yes. So don't take it personal at that particular point. You can move on with strength and vigor to be able to close something else in the next room.
No, rejection is not personal. From your perspective as an entrepreneur or the business person, you should not take a rejection to heart, given that you need to take it as a form of constructive criticism and adapt accordingly, given the kind of rejection that you've received. Take it upon you to take it aboard and use that to improve your product or service, or the form in which you're selling, or the target audience that you've been targeting. So use that as a basis, or as a springboard for you to better your delivery and ultimately get more business out of it.
List 3 ways to deal with rejection.
Number 1, do not take it personal. As we said earlier, it is not about you. It is about the products and services that you're selling to the customers. Number 2, separate your self-worth and business results. Probably it is because of the business results that the customers are saying no. Probably they could have heard that you're going down, that there's something wrong with your business, and that is why they're saying no. So please separate your self-worth and the business results. Number 3, take time to cool off. When you get rejected in one office or by one customer, please find time to sit down, breathe in, breathe out, and ask yourself some critical questions that will be able to help you move to the next office feeling great. And number 4, discuss it with somebody. When you discuss it with someone, they'll be able to help you understand what also they go through when they're selling.
I think the first way in which I deal with rejection is also one of the questions that we just addressed right now, is you do not take it personally. So a potential client has just told you no. So he's not saying no to Stephen Mwangi. He's just take it as though he's saying no to buying that product or service at that particular time. So it has nothing to do with you personally. So developing that thick skin where you can accept as many no's as possible and not take it to heart is one of the ways to deal with rejection. Second way in which I deal with rejection in business is to go back and look inwardly, both on a personal level or on a business level, together with our teammates, and see how best you can improve. How do you learn out of that experience, out of that rejection experience, and ensure that you deliver a product or service that is better or can better address the needs of your target client, or is best priced at the most accepted pricing indicator, or that is as competitive as possible given what is available in the market from other players. And the third way in which I deal with rejection in business is by doing a lot of homework and studying the market, knowing your product inside out, knowing what your customers actually need, and ensuring that you're putting out a product or service that best addresses that need. And also ensuring that you study what other players are doing in the industry. By that, you avoid as many no's as you would have received would you not have done these things, and ultimately you start converting prospective customers into paying customers. So those are the ways in which I deal with rejection in business.
What is your final remarks?
May rejection be the motivation to push you look for more business. And don't think you're alone. The person you're seeing out there succeeding, the business you're seeing there thriving, go through the same experiences you go through. Push on. Good luck. Get more business.
I leave businessmen with two quotes. One is that it only ends once, and anything in between is only progress. What does this quote mean? It means that do not be afraid of failure, because if that business is going to fail, it will only fail once. So anything that you do along the way, all these rejections that you're getting are only signs of progress for you, so long as you view it as progress. So embrace it and accept the criticism and rejection along the way. You are progressing. So that's the first quote. Second quote is that nothing good comes easy. So you have to put in the work, you have to better yourself, you have to continue grinding, and know that any shiny object that you see out there, be it a good business that you probably emulating yourself or benchmarking yourself against, know that they also went through the trenches and they also went through the tough times that you're probably going through with rejection. So those are my final remarks to businessmen, and I thank you for your time.
Having gotten the business angle of how rejection plays out, our guest doctor will share and shed light on the following questions. What happens in our bodies when we face rejection? Can we build resistance to rejection? And how? Are there any illnesses related to rejection? What is your final comment on rejection? Lastly, what is your final take on rejection?
My name is Dr. Caroline Mwendwa. I am a medical doctor and a psychologist. My area of interest is neuropsychology, which basically means understanding the brain and how the brain influences behavior. How does rejection affect the body? Well, we can look at rejection in two ways, as acute rejection and chronic rejection. So acute rejection is what happens in an event where you are trying to give something or provide something to somebody and they reject it. We are all human, so any aspect of rejection will bring out some negative emotions in us: anger, sadness, frustration, disappointment. And we should all purposefully work at removing all these negative emotions from ourselves when we have these daily experiences of rejection. However, if rejection is chronic, which means it is occurring over and over again, this predisposes us to these negative emotions on a daily basis or cumulatively over a period of time. And what happens is that now we are chronically experiencing negative feelings of anger, of depression, of disappointment. And what happens is that this begins to affect our self-worth, our self-confidence, our self-esteem. And as this accumulates, then this predisposes us to mental health issues. In a nutshell, mental health issues occur because we spend all our time and all our energy focused on the past. What should have happened and didn't, or what happened and shouldn't have happened. And this predisposes us to depression. On the other hand, we spend all our time and all our energy worrying about the unknown future. And developmentally, our brain is geared towards thinking that what we don't know in the future is most likely to be negative until proven otherwise. So with mental health issues, we stop living in the here and now and stop experiencing daily events because all our mind and all our energy is focused either on the past or in the future. So with chronic rejection, a person might spend all their time focused on the past, what happened and what they went through. And this might shake their confidence so that they are always concerned about what may happen going forward. And the effects of these negative emotions of chronic rejection is that we start to experience insomnia, which means lack of sleep. And sleep is necessary for our body function, for the memory, for the brain, for the body to rest. So a person who is not getting enough sleep begins to develop medical issues because of chronic activation of what we call stress hormones. Additionally, the brain becomes tired of always having to think about how to solve issues of the past or issues of the future. And what happens is that we start to do something we call somatization. And what that means is that we start manifesting negative emotions through our bodies. And the commonest way in which we manifest negative emotions through our body is through pain. So people begin to experience migraine headaches, tension headaches, pain in the stomach, pain in the joints, pain in the chest, and that becomes something that one begins to seek for medical attention. This may also affect our blood pressure, where you start being told that your blood pressure has gone up, but it's not because there is a medical condition per se, it's because of all the stress and negative emotion that you're carrying, which is also compounded by lack of sleep. Is there a way to build resilience against rejection? Yes, there is. First and foremost, we need to learn how to externalize negative emotions on a daily basis so that when you experience a negative event, you are able to remove all the negativity associated with that experience from your day-to-day life. One of the ways in which we can do this is through physical activity. Running, dancing, jogging, cooking, anything that releases endorphins, which are feel-good hormones, will actually help you to remove negative emotions from your body. On the other hand, we can practice something we call mindfulness, and this is purposefully choosing to clear your mind of all the negativity and all the negative energy that one has experienced. So when we get used to doing this on a daily basis regularly, but also with every exposure to any negative event, then we are able to ensure that we do not develop the chronic effects that come up with chronic rejection. What is my final word on rejection? Rejection is experienced by each and every person on an everyday basis, but we need to learn to get rid of all the negative emotions associated with rejection on a daily basis so that it's not cumulative, so that we learn to live in the here and now and not focus our energy and our mind on the past or on the future. Thank you.
In conclusion, remember, rejection is normal. It is unavoidable. You must prepare. And how do you prepare? Analyze your business operations. What rejection are you getting? Develop possible answers around this and train your staff so that they may respond accordingly when they are faced by the same situation. Another way to deal with rejection is to have many business leads in the pipeline. If you have one business lead in the pipeline and you receive rejection on it, and you had already planned about this revenue, this money, you will count losses of money that you didn't even earn. If you have many business leads in the pipeline and you receive one rejection, the impact of the rejection will be minimal. Finally, persistence. A single instance of rejection does not mean that you have lost the war. It is an opportunity of a bigger comeback. When you face rejection, don't stop working. Let it not pull you down. Be resilient. Keep pushing. Keep getting better. Learn from these rejections. What did you do wrong? How can you do it better? This is your opportunity for a quick comeback. And there's a favorite quote I love for Jack Ma that keeps me moving. No matter how tough the chase is, you should always have the dream you had on the first day. If you remember this, it will keep you motivated and save you from weak thoughts. This brings us to the end of this video. Always a pleasure having you on board. Thank you for your shares. Thank you for the subscriptions. Thank you. I'm overwhelmed by your support. Until next time, Like, share, and subscribe. Peace out.